From CBS 47 and Fox 30, you're watching This Week in the 904.
In the new year, we often talk about New Year's resolutions involving our physical health. But what about our financial health? Welcome to This Week in the 904. I'm your host, Chandler Morgan. Joining us today is Keith Manze from First Florida Credit Union. And this morning, we hope that you can, of course, help tackle some of those questions you might have and get a better understanding of your financial health. All right, Keith, thank you for being here today. We appreciate it. It is the new year, so we're going to be talking about how to, of course, set meaningful financial goals. So what does that really look like, and what's the first step for somebody?
First step is to be specific with your goals. So instead of saying, I want to save money next year, let's break that down and say, I want to save $5,000 for a down payment for a car. And I can actually do you one better than that and say, let's break it down each month. I want to save $200 to get to that goal of $5,000 for a down payment for a car. Breaking it down into those bite-sized pieces really makes your goal manageable, and you can visualize it a lot better, and it makes it actually feel obtainable for you.
And when somebody's talking about their finances with you all and how you can support that journey, being able to maybe like reframe that and rethink what that looks like, because it sounds like you're saying, it doesn't need to be broad. Maybe we need to think in slices instead.
Yeah, it's almost like, you're going on a diet. You're not just going to say, I'm just going to sit here and eat less. You have to really break it down. It's not a science per se, but it really is just making it little bits and pieces to grab onto to make it easier for you, because being broad just doesn't get the job done anymore.
Especially in today's economic climate. So let's talk about that. When we're talking about trying to save for these big life moments, I mean, life moves in seasons and waves, and certain expenses are going to come up. So what would you say to somebody who's trying to assess their own finances in this economic climate?
Yeah, I think it's really time to sit back, and I think it's time to change some things. Whether it be to increase your emergency funds a little bit, or if you're an investor, to maybe sit back and go a little bit more conservative when you were maybe a little less conservative in the past, or maybe it's just as simple as putting off that big purchase. Maybe not to 2027, but just later in 2026.
So Keith, what parts of your financial life tend to maybe get messy or overlooked, and what kind of really medical overview, if you will, of your finances do you need to do, especially this time of year as you're looking to a new year?
Yeah, I think number one is going to be your account itself. A lot of times we move and we forget to change that part of our account. I know, unfortunately, a lot of people just neglect to change that in their account, and they don't get their statements anymore. That's a really important thing that you're missing out on, a part of your account security, as well as changing our passwords. We don't change our passwords enough. So that goes hand in hand with those. And then the other one is going to be recurring charges. Recurring charges sit there and just charge us over and over and over. That's going to be your gym memberships or Netflix, Hulu, whatever you like to purchase. That one's easy. If you get statements in the mail, take a highlighter, go ahead and go through and highlight each and every one of those. Look for one or two maybe that you maybe don't need or you don't use as often, and cut it out. You could save yourself $20 to $30 a month, and that really adds up over the course of a year.
I'm thinking of, I go through the year, different series come out on the streaming subscriptions, and maybe I go to a streaming subscription and I'm watching a series or a show, and then I'm done with it. I've binged it all, and then I don't go back and watch anything else. Like that would be a prime example.
That is one. So there's so many streaming services out there now. I recommend just maybe taking 2 or 3 of them, do it for half the year, and then the second half of the year, get the other one. So maybe you're Netflix, Hulu the first half of the year, and then you do Paramount, Apple TV the second half.
Yeah.
Doesn't work for everyone, but
it
maybe
can be
for
done.
Me, yeah, it can be done.
There you go. So, and also looking at those, you said reoccurring subscription fees too. Maybe, grocery delivery fees or things that you started the year off using and you don't anymore.
There's also those hidden ones too that we forget about often, are the ones that we sign up for that are free trials. And we don't think about them, but after 30, 60, 90 days, then they start charging you. maybe it's time to cut those out too, because they can hit you with those hefty fees.
Ouch. And sometimes those are on a yearly basis too.
Yes,
So
yes.
even if you're locked in for a year, trying to, slice it out for the year ahead. And what about some red flags in somebody's spending account as you're maybe looking at, if you've got a few different people, even, maybe you have a young adult who you're helping them with financials too. What are some red flags?
Well, the number one red flag, in my opinion, is going to be when you open your account and you look at it and you get bug eyes. You should never be surprised when you look at your account. It's time to really reevaluate your budget if you're doing that each and every time you look at your account balance. But the other ones I recommend are if you have a credit card and your balance is going up, but your income's staying the same, maybe time to take a step back and look at that budget again. And lastly is those impulse purchases, miscellaneous expenses like takeout or Amazon purchases. I know it's the time of year to maybe make an extra purchase here and there. If those are starting to add up again, maybe take a deep breath, step back, and reevaluate some things.
All right, Keith. Well, coming up, we're going to be talking about different types of savings accounts and, of course, retirement.
From CBS 47 and Fox 30, you're watching This Week in the 904.
Welcome back to This Week in the 904. I'm Chandler Morgan, joined by Keith Manze here with First Florida Credit Union. We appreciate you being here.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
So, we talk a lot about financial health, and a big portion of that is savings. You cannot stress it enough. So when we're talking about savings, how should somebody decide between maybe a traditional savings account or a high yield savings account?
Absolutely. So traditional savings account, I'll say here at First Florida Credit Union, you're going to get one when you open an account. It's going to be a part of your life no matter what. It's going to be relatively low in interest, but it is nice for just general savings. Say maybe you need new tires for your car. Not a bad option just to maybe put some money in there for that kind of thing, or maybe holiday gifts and stuff like that. High yield savings are great for higher interest. So if you're looking to earn a little bit more, it's a great option for that. I recommend that for your emergency savings funds, or maybe some of those short-term savings goals. So maybe you're looking for a down payment for a car or something in that vein. So great option for that as well.
And is it fair to say that in that case where you got a high yield savings, like your money is working for you in a sense because you're not necessarily touching it?
Exactly, yes. It is working for you, earning a little bit more, and you can sit there and just keep putting more money in, and it's going to continue to grow.
Do you feel like in certain cases it's important to maybe have them both in order to kind of have that layer of both?
Absolutely would recommend you have both, yes.
Yeah, especially in a situation where you do want to be able to have some money to touch for an emergency situation, but then you have some money set aside where you, like you said, you still want it to work for you, you still want to be able to tap into that. Are you seeing that it is, even more important where, in a time where things aren't getting so expensive and you're feeling that? What do you hear from people who are saying, I really want to have a savings, but I just don't know if I can do it? Anything counts, right? Anything
counts. I've never used the word just when it comes to putting money aside. People are like, I can't even put $5 aside. Can't say just $5 aside. If you can put $5 aside, even in an automatic transfer, and I'm sure we'll touch on that in a little bit, but $5 aside is more than zero. And if you can put that $5 continuously over and over, it's going to continue to build. And it's more than the $0, and your future self is going to thank your past self for at least starting that little nest egg that you've built.
And I'm thinking too, it's not a very fun thing to think about per se, but holidays, you get gifts with maybe money in there. That's a prime example of something you could put away, and that was a gift.
You never want to, but yes. I remember my parents telling me to take half of it, put it away, take the other half, and you can use it to spend on. I'm like, why? It's my money. I want to spend it on everything. So
yeah, it's a very real answer, But our future selves will thank you.
Absolutely.
I'm sure. Retirement. Let's talk about retirement. So it can feel so far away, especially for those who are maybe a little bit younger. But at the bare minimum, what should we be thinking about right now for retirement?
I know you 18-year-olds out there, you maybe early 20-year-olds, you don't even think about retirement, but it's honestly the best time to be thinking about it, because the earlier you start, the better off you're going to be. And if you can just start thinking about putting some money away, not thinking about, but actually start putting some money aside, just in a savings account, and start building that skill of saving money, you're going to be setting yourself up for success as you get older, because you never stop saving money. I know we think, oh, well, once I get to a certain point, I'm going to be fine. I think you and I both know that you're going to forever save money. So if you can start building that skill, as well as don't be afraid to ask questions. You know, talk to your parents. They've probably been saving for retirement for a long time. Talk to your peers. Maybe they've already started a job, or, you know, older siblings, whatever it may be. Talk to some people. Gather some information from them. Talk to your go on the internet. Gather some information in there. Of course, come up with your own opinions, and then use that to your advantage to start building your own ideas of what retirement's going to look like for you.
And be sure, I'm sure you tell this people to, you know, reach out to your employer too. There might be options that you aren't even necessarily,
once you
taking
get that
advantage
job. Yes,
of. Right.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
When you get to that point, absolutely talk to your employer. HR is usually the best bet in your job, to go talk to them. They won't push you away. They want to help you. They want you to be able to retire one day, and if they can help you, they will.
What are some practical systems that you can put into place today as we're entering a new year, you know, to help you save, to help you maybe be able to reach out and know that you are putting into retirement or savings, or even combination, best worlds, both?
Well, I touched on it before, but automatic transfers is going to be your best friend. If you can put $10, $20, $25 away each paycheck, each month, whatever it is, whatever you can afford to, just put it into a savings account. You have started to build yourself some security. And building that security is going to be very helpful to future you. I like talking about future you, and it's going to be very helpful. But the other one I'd say is, this is talking from experience here, labeling your savings accounts. And this is one I started just a couple of years ago when I wanted to propose to my girlfriend.
Aww.
And I had a general savings account. It was called Keith Savings. And I just put, I think I mentioned tires before, so I just had money going in there for things like that. I created a second savings account called Ring. So I knew exactly how much the Ring cost. I knew exactly how much money I automatically transferred in there, saved for that. And then I had my third one for emergency savings. And I was also an automatic transfer. I have 3. You can have as many as you'd like. So if you want to put money aside for travel, if you like to travel, if you have a child and you're saving for a college fund, you can do it. People don't know that you can open up as many savings accounts as you want under one account number. And maybe I don't recommend you have 15 under one. You might get a little confused. But as long as you can keep it organized and you name them all, you set up those automatic transfers, you can really set up a bunch of different nest eggs for whatever reason. And when I hit my goal for the Ring, I was able to take that money out, spend it, buy the Ring. It was perfect. I just renamed that savings account to the honeymoon fund instead. So you can repurpose it whenever you're ready. It's a great way to keep yourself organized, and who doesn't want to be organized, right?
Right, exactly. I was going to say, I'm a very visual learner too. So for somebody who's logging on, trying to keep up with my accounts and look at what is in there, that really helps, being able to label it that way and look at your goals that way too.
Absolutely. Yeah, names are great. I love it too. You can name them funny things if you're a funny person.
I'm thinking of new dog. I'm looking at my husband when I'm saying that one. Would love another one. All right, well, hey, coming up, stay with us. We're going to be talking about helpful trends in personal finance this year.
From CBS 47 and Fox 30, you're watching This Week in the 904.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. All right, Keith, so we're going to talk about the world of AI and financials. Everything's always intertwined with AI now. It seems that way. So we have AI-driven budgeting apps. Do you feel like they're really worth it? Can they be helpful?
They can. I have to preface by just saying, be careful. AI has taken the world by storm this year, as we've all seen all kinds of different things with AI. Be careful, do your due diligence, make sure you're vetting, going through the correct vetting process. But I think they are very helpful if you choose the right ones. I would just say, if you're using one, it can help you with automatic transfers. It can help you with, keeping your account safe. It can alert you if something is a red flag in your account, that kind of thing, just look for a couple things. Make sure it has clear visuals, making sure, when you're looking at it, it's very easy to read, making sure that it can have customizable categories, which is really important. And then lastly, the most important in my opinion, is that it can sync with your bank or credit union. If it can't sync, it's almost worthless at that point. It's almost like having a food app that you can't order food on. It's like, well, why do I even have it?
Right, and you have to be comfortable with giving them that information too.
That too, and that's why I say, do your due diligence, make sure it's safe, make sure, you can go on probably like the FTC's website, and they can probably, they have a lot of tools on their website to where you can look up to kind of make sure things are safe for you.
Well, AI is pretty popular, but speaking of popularity trends, we're going to talk about some personal finance trends too. So you see a lot of them out there. You see them on social media too. I'm scrolling and I, come across somebody who claims they're an expert in a field, but you kind of have to vet that. Which ones do you feel like actually deserve people's attention?
It's nice to see that there's actually a few positive things out there right now. We talked about high yield savings accounts, right? And the rates have actually remained pretty competitive in 2025. So I can actually give a thumbs up. If you want to open one of those, it's nice for us savers out there that actually can use that. And then also, I've talked about it multiple times already, but automatic savings, automatic transfers, it's just so important. And if you can set one up, it's really going to help you a lot, and I think it's one of the greatest trends in 2025 and going forward. So definitely set one up.
Because then you don't even see that money. For maybe someone who's not familiar with an automatic transfer, that is money that, it comes out of your paycheck, but you don't even have to see it, or it's kind of like you won't even factor it in.
We have one, at First Florida, and I think most other institutions have it, payroll deduction. That's the one where you can set it up where it comes straight out of your payroll, goes into whatever you'd like it to go, and 100% you do not see it at all. Automatic transfers, typically you will see it as an automatic transfer come out of your account, so it'll say transfer. Like for me, when it went to the Ring account, it would say Ring, but that's okay. If you're okay with still seeing it, it's all right, but payroll deduction is the one you want to select if you want it to be out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, out of mind, and that is a key word too. So let's talk about mindset. What kind of mindset shifts do you feel like really make the biggest difference for people who are actively trying to save money?
Yes, that's a really tough one because there's a lot of things out there, but I think we sit here and we talk about how progress beats perfection. I think is my number one. We sit here, we go to the gym, and we create a routine, and it's like, you know what? I'm gonna go on a cruise, and you go on the cruise and you don't go to the gym. Does that mean you stop working out? No. You're on a diet. It's the holidays. You have a couple extra cookies at the holiday party. Does that mean you stop dieting? No. It's the same thing with banking. If you make a big purchase, impulse purchase, does that mean you stop saving? No. It's a speed bump. That's all it is. So as long as you get back up on your feet, dust yourself off, continue to save, I think you're going to be fine. It's all about pushing forward and keeping yourself on that train of success of continuing to save. And I think it kind of goes in with the next one is that, continuing to save. And I remember I already said, don't say just $10. If you can put $10, $20, whatever you can in an automatic transfer, you're doing yourself right. And at the end of 2026, Keith, I'll just use myself as an example, the end of 2026, Keith is going to thank the end of 2025, Keith, for making that transfer because I've built some security for myself.
That's a great way to look at it too. And sometimes life does require those big purchases. You've got to make them in order to get where you're going. So those small changes, it sounds like really
small
make a
habits
difference.
compound. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I know that you all have a lot of different locations. So can you talk a little bit about somebody who maybe is inspired to be able to go and talk to somebody, open up one of these savings accounts, or
Certainly.
Just being able to have a better financial health for the new year?
Yeah, we have 10 area locations here in Jacksonville. We would love to come see you. Our main office is downtown Jacksonville on West 1st Street. We would love to come see you. We have plenty of happy, smiling faces that are ready to help you answer all of your questions because it's all about building a better financial future. And at First Florida, that is what we do. We are all about making the community a better place And it all starts with you having a better financial future.
And some new locations too. I think I've been to a few of those as well.
Yeah, we have, Durban is a great location, and then we had Arlington open not too long ago as well off of Rojero. So we'd love to see you at one of those. And if you're ever traveling, we have Tallahassee, we have one in Orlando, and we have Pembroke Park right outside of Miami.
And online options too. So you're able to contact somebody via phone or online.
Please. Firstflorida.org. We have all kinds of resources on there. You can check us out, tips and tricks. I host a bunch of webinars on there too. So if you ever need anything like that, I also come out and do financial education as well. Schools, retirement homes, wherever you need me, I'll be there.
All right, Keith, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank
we
you
appreciate
so much for
it.
having me.
Yes.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to everybody as well. Great talking with you today, Keith. We appreciate it. And thank you for watching at home. You can find more topics from This Week in the 904 on actionnewsjax.com.
Thanks for watching This Week in the 904.